Warning, the following podcast is not intended for people under the age of 18. If you were born before the Attitude Era, hit the bricks, Junior. This show ain't for you. And now, on with Steffi and Justin discuss.
Hello, it's me. It's Steffi. And my co-host Justin, who is here, but he's probably still muted. Justin,
yo,
unmute yourself.
And,
what it do, baby?
And they have a special guest today.
Riveting Whale. Because we actually invaded his podcast.
And I'm the one.
offered...
And technically, I'm the one recording and streaming this, so...
Yeah, because technically...
We're hosting it on my
channel.
channel.
You just joined Wolfpack Productions.
Steffi and Justin, welcome to the... I'll have to make you guys channel managers now. Justin, don't start uploading random crap to the channel.
Yes. And I will not upload, or try not to upload any ECW videos that are non-PG.
You start doing that, I'm
Can't guarantee.
I will super kick you right out of this chat if you do. So,
no guarantees.
Anyway, what's the subject? What is the main event of today's video, or the subject, Steffi?
Well, there's a reason we did a warning. It is because we are bringing up a very controversial subject. No, not the death of Chris Benoit. That will not be brought up any longer.
Oh, and by the way, that warning will be at the beginning of every podcast we do, whether it's mine and Sora's or theirs.
Yeah, because basically we do get into subjects that are a little more...
And today, it's basically...
adult.
Today, not really, but it could go that way.
Yeah, it could go that way because, well, Justin and I like to make jokes. And usually we do this podcast during the later hours so that we can get away with doing those jokes.
However, YouTube, they don't mind.
YouTube really doesn't mind, and I don't care. We're going to do it now. But the subject is...
Your editor doesn't
the Montreal
care
Screwjob. The Montreal Screwjob.
I was about to
and
say,
yes, I just said the word screw job.
Let's just say what we're talking about today. I was going to say
PG parents.
I was going to say I was going to say what we're talking about today had the word screw in it.
Yes, the Montreal screw job.
And now, let's just say, without any further ado, it's time for the main event of the evening.
Let me do it, dude. Let me do the ring announcing here. I've got the Howard Finkel knockoff voice here.
No.
Then do it.
He's doing Justin Roberts.
I'll do my Howard Finkel in just a second if I'm allowed to.
Yes, you are allowed to do Fink, because Fink is honestly very well revered. By the way, WWE, if you think we're making fun of Howard Finkel, we're not. We actually grew up with him announcing, and at half the time we make fun of the voice too.
Me doing the Fink is a tribute.
Yes, because we respect the crap out of the Fink.
And out of every ring announcer, even if Mike Rome sucks at it.
Yes.
No offense to you, Mike Rome. We just think you suck. Anyway.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event. In today's main event topic, the Montreal Screwjob.
All right, for those of you who are younger viewers, this is basically what us older viewers consider the birth of the Attitude Era.
Yes. Even though, I do want to say it's the end of Bret Hart's time in WWE,
the birth of DX.
Even though Bret didn't leave until like 3 or 4 months later.
Yes, technically, yeah, he didn't leave until 3 or 4 months later.
He didn't pop up on WCW until about December of that same year.
Yes, because of a contract thing that he Yeah.
Should Bret Hart
We're
and
not going there.
WCW be part of this video or another video?
Let's just stick to the Montreal Screwjob. Because
So,
honestly,
who's giving the backstory on this?
okay, I am. Backstory goes Bret Hart is the WWF champ. Yes, people, it was called the WWF back then, not the WWE. This
It
is now the WWE.
Because they didn't get the F out until 2001 or 2002.
Yes.
Ha ha ha.
We shall also make jokes like that during the podcast, which is why it's going to be 18 or older. Because sometimes things get a little.
I mean, heck, even my videos, especially my NHL videos, get a little iffy at times.
Yes.
The sea pickle joke when Emma Vlasic scores, for example.
Not
Anyway.
laughing. Not laughing.
Go back. What was you saying?
Bret Hart was the WWF champion at the time. However, his contract with the WWF was ending. And Medusa had actually at the time, yes, we'll get into Medusa at a later point, but she jumped ship while still WWF Women's Champion and dropped the title in the trash on live TV. They did not want Bret to do that. The WWF Championship had a storied history, and it was well respected. No one wanted the disrespect on that end. So they decided that they were going to strip Bret of the title. Now, the only problem is...
Did you already mention...
Here's where things get a little bit muddy.
Steffi, did you already mention the whole Medusa binning the WWF Women's Championship on Nitro part?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. She dumped it in the trash can.
And got herself blackballed for the next 20-something, 30-something years.
Yeah. But as I said, we're going to discuss Medusa at a later point in time because her career was actually pretty good.
And I've seen most of it, so...
So they decide we're going to take the belt off of Bret at Survivor Series 97.
But here's
problem
the catch.
Is
Survivor Series that year was
where is Survivor Series 97 being held?
Canada, Montreal. And
Quebec, Canada.
Bret didn't want to drop it in his home country. He offered...
Exactly. Bret did not want to drop it in his home country.
He wanted to make the match a schmoz and drop it the next night on Raw. Now, for those of you that aren't aware of the term, insider term schmoz, it basically means it's a dusty finish draw.
Yeah, it's a draw. Neither person wins. He drops it the next night.
He vacates it the next night and leaves.
Yeah, he vacates it and leaves. Well, one problem.
What was supposed to happen.
Exactly.
Vince wanted to drop it at that show.
Exactly. Now, here's where things get a little bit crazy. Did Shawn and Triple H tell Vince that they were going to do, that they wanted to take the belt, that Shawn wanted to take the belt off of Bret by doing the sharpshooter?
There is a dark side of the ring on this.
Did Vince? There is a dark side, but I don't always trust them because
Earl Hebner popped up on that and admitted that he didn't even want to do it. I think he was put up to it.
Yeah. But then again, it's Shawn Michaels. What is he going to say?
They didn't. You notice how in that they don't talk to Shawn. They don't talk to Bret.
Yeah, they talk to everybody but the two people involved.
And they don't talk to Hunter either.
Yeah. The three people that were involved, they don't talk to.
And they don't talk to Vince himself either.
Yeah. The four people that were involved in the Montreal Screwjob.
How do you
don't even talk
the
to them.
Screwjob doc and not talk to the four people whose brainchild it was?
Yeah, how could you do that? That's why I discount anything said in that Dark Side of the Ring documentary.
Not all of the Dark Side of the Rings were inaccurate. Owens wasn't. That was 100% factual.
No. Yeah. And again,
Even
that is another topic that we will get into. And
When
it's
we
going to be really
finally-
hard for two people in here because
when we finally
both
get
of
to
us
that,
being
I'm gonna,
Owen Hart fans,
Yep.
when we get to that, I'm gonna have to go off on Martha
there
Hart.
will be crying.
I feel like at that point in time, we all need to go off on Martha Hart. So
Yeah, we will probably.
me with less cursing
Actually,
as these two.
no.
She's a
Me
What?
with less cursing than Steffi over there, if any.
okay, but back to the Montreal Screwjob.
Martha was not wrong in what she did, and
We'll
I
discuss,
will
Justin.
say that.
We'll discuss that at another time.
Yes, we will
Okay.
discuss it another time. Montreal Screwjob. This is what I get every single night, folks, that we have these calls. I don't like her. He respects her. I don't.
Well, that's
We
what
agree to
makes
disagree.
that's what makes these podcasts interesting. If you have 2 or 3 bozos that agree on everything, it's going to be boring.
Boring. Yeah. Basically, we all just agree to disagree on that whole topic and we leave it alone. Until it gets brought up again.
And I was the
And then
bozo that
it's like,
brought it
okay,
up.
we
I'm
agree to
sorry.
disagree. We leave it alone.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Yeah. So,
there's a little bit more backstory here that I think needs to be addressed. Brett had been
go ahead.
offered and Brett had been given a 20-year contract, and this is partially what leads to the match in question. Brett's given a 20-year contract. Vince realizes, what was it, a week or two later,
yeah, that
that he can't
a
honor
week or
it.
two later, that Brett had been offered this contract with WCW.
No, it was the 20-year contract. He couldn't honor it. He didn't have the money to honor it.
Yeah. And Justin just left. And Kim's back. By the way, where we are right now, there's like a lot of internet issues, so people will be dropping and coming back
Yeah,
in. I apologize.
On the last podcast, on the first episode of Totally Unscripted, mine and Sora's podcast, I have to apologize. She did leave abruptly, but hey, I finished out the show for her. So
With us. So
I'm
So-
just
anyway,
quickly cut in there because
Okay.
actually Brett wanted to stay, but Vince couldn't pay Brett
I
the
just
money
said that,
Brett
actually.
wanted.
I just said something similar to that. So
yeah, he had a 20-year contract. Vince could not honor it.
So then Vince said that he would help Brett get a contract at WCW.
and enter Slimy Eric
Yeah.
Bischoff
Under Slimy Eric Bischoff.
and Ted Turner on. I'm sure Turner has something to do with that.
Yeah, true.
Trillionaire Ted, as they play him in, on this on either my podcast or this one, we need to talk about the Trillionaire Ted parody angles or videos. That
Oh yeah, the
WWF
billionaire
ran.
Ted. The billionaire Ted, because that's some of the funniest stuff. But so Vince can't honor the 20-year contract. He agrees to get Brett a contract with
But here's the
WCW.
problem, as Steffi pointed out earlier. Brett was the champ. Brett was the guy at the time.
Yeah,
and
Brett is the champion at the time.
He doesn't want to lose his
Basically,
main. He didn't want to lose his main title to WCW.
yeah, he didn't want to lose the title to WCW because WCW had just before had Medusa dump the WWF Women's Champion,
Didn't
the
the exact
original
reverse?
Women's Champion,
Not that this has anything to
in
do
the
with this.
trash
I
on
just
live
wanna-
TV.
I just want to bring this up as a bonus
One-
side note.
What?
Back in 1992, didn't the same thing happen over in WCW to Ric Flair, where he was holding up the belt? His contract was over. The belt was being held up. He ends up taking the darn thing to WWE with him.
But there's a
However-
difference in that. It's because he never defended the belt in WWF.
I thought he had at least once the whole "who's the real world champion" thing.
No.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he did.
It was on a house show though, so
Yeah, so it doesn't technically count.
anyway, we got off track again there. Sorry.
This happens because there's a lot
I
of
mean-
people that kind of cross over.
It does
Because
it kind of does relate and it kind of doesn't. It's a gray area.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
let's go
Vince
back
does
to it.
not want to lose his main belt. So he enlists Triple H and Shawn Michaels to do
Earl Hebner.
business
Well,
with Brett.
Earl Hebner, although Earl wanted nothing
And
to do
Earl
with it, he was forced into it.
Yeah, poor guy was
I
forced
think in the
into it.
documentary they did actually talk to Hebner, and he said that if
Yeah.
I remember the doc right, he said Vince said either do it or I'm going to fire you, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, I do remember that. So
which
they
is
did talk to somebody there,
which
but
was bullying in itself. Seriously.
yeah.
Kind of in the same way that Brett's brother Owen was kind of pushed into doing that stunt when he didn't want to do it, but
Another thing we do not bring up is the blue blazer.
That up yet.
that'll be part of the
Yeah.
Owen Hart discussion episode.
That will be for the Owen Hart discussion. And even then we probably won't bring it up because
I mean,
neither
you-
one of us, I think, likes that angle.
I don't either, but I feel like it has to be brought up if we're going to talk about Owen Hart at some point.
Yeah. But
Fire.
so and by the way, if you ever hear fire, it's not Vince. Justin does a spot on Vince McMahon. Which occasionally causes me to laugh.
I do a spot on Triple H as well, so
Yeah. So these two occasionally do try to get me to laugh.
just don't
Although-
expect me to be spitting up water with that.
Okay,
I'm not
we'll
doing
try
it.
to masterful my
Wait,
habit.
please, back on topic. We're way off here.
Yeah. So Vince doesn't want to lose, so he enlists Shawn, Triple H, and Earl Hebner,
Even if Hebner
who
wanted nothing to do
unfortunately wanted nothing to do with it. Shawn
with it. And
and Triple H
I want to say
agreed
we
that
lost.
well,
I want to say we lost Hebner just a year or two ago.
we did, which is kind of sad because yeah,
I would say we'll never get his side of what we're talking about, but we technically already did with the dark side of the
with the
ring.
dark side of the ring. We did
Oh,
get
and-
his side, so at least we have one
I
side of the
think-
story.
I think something more entertaining we could talk about at some point would be the plane ride from hell.
Ooh.
Yes.
I want to bring that up on my
So-
show at some point. So back to
Yeah.
what we were doing now. We ain't got all day here.
So Triple H, Shawn, they go into the match. They talk to Brett and say, that they agreed with Brett that no, we'll do the finish. We'll do the finish. They go back and talk to Vince, and Vince says the infamous line that Brett's not going to do business with them, meaning
But Triple H
Brett
said
isn't going to
that.
do the finish.
I thought Brett was the one that said
Whoa.
that line. Or no, I thought
No.
Triple H was the one that said the line.
No, Triple H then says to Vince, if Brett won't do business, we'll do business for Brett. Meaning, they'll take the title off of Brett in Montreal whether he wants it or not. Cue the Survivor Series 97 match. Shawn puts Brett in the
Phantom
infamous
submission.
sharpshooter.
And we can sum it up with 2 words: Phantom submission.
Yeah, Phantom submission. Yeah, because Brett never tapped out.
I
The
remember
bell
them
was
showing.
rung.
I remember them showing this match the next night on Raw. I was like, I see the highlights. I'm like, what the heck even happened? Because you don't on Raw it doesn't show half of what happened.
Yeah, because they edited it.
They edited
So
out the
what
part
happened-
where
Brett
Brett taps.
never tapped.
Can I please? Stop
Yes,
here?
you can.
Thank you. So before, when they were going over how the match ends, it was Brett's idea to be put in the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Brett was going to counter it, but
Yep.
Sean had the idea right there that was how the match was going to end.
That Sean.
I think how I would have done this, instead of having Sean tap out, you basically just reenact WrestleMania 13 or 14, where it was Austin that passed out from the sharpshooter, but instead of Austin passing out, Brett passes out.
Yeah, Brett never submits to his own maneuver. That works out fine.
Having Brett submit to the sharpshooter would make him look foolish.
Yeah, but it did happen. So Sean goes up to Vince and yells, "What the hell?
Because
What
Vince
the
rang
hell
the bell
was
before the
that?"
submission.
Meaning,
the puck.
Yeah, what the puck was that?
Hockey puns.
And just grabs the belt and storms out.
Yeah, Sean even hated the way that ended.
Yeah, because
And if I recall the crowd reaction, loud as crap boos, and some people were even throwing trash.
yes, so he very quickly leaves. Vince Brett is in the ring. He's going at it with Vince. He spits in Vince's face. And then air writes the letters W, C, W, meaning he's leaving after that. He isn't going to honor his contract.
Basically, screw the money, I'm out of here.
Yeah, screw the money, I'm out of here. But what a lot of people don't know is what happened backstage.
I believe Darkseid might have actually shown this briefly, but I'm not sure.
Briefly, but what happened? Vince then goes to Brett and says, "You have one shot on me." Well, he goes to Shane and says, "I'm going to Brett. He has one shot," meaning Brett can hit him free of consequence.
Because he was on his way out anyway.
He was on his way out anyway. And Vince technically did something that wasn't done back then. He reversed the ending. He reversed the ending without telling either party.
This word shoot, whatever you want to call it, was also the birth of the evil Mr. McMahon character.
Yes. But so he goes backstage. Brett doesn't hit him. Brett blocks Vince right in the face.
Seriously, if it were me, just put the man in the sharpshooter. Seriously.
Yeah, it would have been more entertaining, but he just clocks him right in the face, walks out. Owen walks in at that point, sees Vince getting hit. He gets in between Vince and Brett, thinking they're going to fight.
Was Owen aware of what happened?
Owen was not aware of what happened.
Damn.
Owen wasn't aware. He did not know that Brett had one free shot at Vince.
But did he actually see the
free
match
of consequence? Itself? Exactly.
Did Owen see the match? That was the question.
I do not believe he did. Well, he might have.
I personally believe that they probably told Owen not to watch the match, or he was going to be pissed at Vince too and want to follow Brett out.
I think that they told him, "Don't watch the match. There's something screwy going on there."
I have a feeling they told Neidhart and Bulldog not to watch.
Yeah, because at that point, the whole Hart family would have ganged up on Vince.
And another part of me wants to believe that Neidhart and Bulldog were already gone by that point anyway.
Yeah, but still.
But there was that story that, I don't know how true this is, that said Neidhart and Bulldog followed Brett out.
Yeah, but so Brett got his one shot in. He walks out. A couple weeks later. A couple of months,
actually. A couple of months later, he pops up on Nitro.
He pops up on Nitro, sans belt, meaning he vacated the belt.
Well, kind of obvious that he was gonna lose it that night anyway if he was really on his way out. But
Yeah, it made sense, but
the way they
Brett
did
went
it,
on to
though,
have a really great career
not
in
WCW.
WCW.
They
However,
misused him
they misused him.
horribly.
He went on to have a great career
Mostly
in
in WWE.
WCW, but it was never as good as his career in WWE.
Uh-uh.
Why was that?
Because
The
WCW had no clue.
Montreal Screwjob had just happened,
And they had
and the
no idea
whole
how to use
wrestling
it in
world
WCW.
thought that Brett had walked out on Vince, not realizing, one, Brett had a 20-year contract that Vince could not honor. Vince said,
technically-
I can't give you the money. I'll get you a
All the-
contract with WCW.
This entire mess is basically all Vince's fault, though.
Yeah, it all falls at the feet of Vince McMahon. However, what happened,
I don't feel that Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Earl Hebner wanted anything to do with it. They were probably forced into it.
yeah, I think they were forced into it. However, here's the best part of the Montreal Screwjob. The shoot end of it is Brett and Shawn never made up
That's not true. Yeah, I was gonna say that's not true until Brett came back.
until Brett comes back to WWE at the time. Now
And
WWE.
What people don't realize is there was a WWE Rivals documentary on Brett and Shawn that had Brett and Shawn on the show. They actually made up on that show.
Yeah, they made up. But for the fans, what they did was Vince.
The characters made up that night that Brett came back.
Yeah, Brett comes back. Shawn's out there. He's talking. Brett comes out. No, I'm sorry, Brett comes out. The fans are going nuts.
Brett comes out.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Brett, and I want to just say this as a bonus. Brett comes out to the most badass version of Hitman I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, holy cow! That was the best version I ever heard.
I heard the riff, but I was like, at that time, Natalya was in the company and using that same riff. I was like,
yeah,
is Natalya coming out?
Nope. What do we get? Brett the Hitman on the tip.
And now,
wait a minute.
Bret Hart's been almost everywhere.
He's the new GM tonight.
No, he was a GM for a while until Nexus ran him over with a semi-truck.
Yeah, I mean, he's the new GM.
Oh,
great! We're finally gonna get some decent wrestling.
He wasn't run over by a semi. Let me he had his arm broken in the door of a limousine.
Yeah, but whatever.
Oh,
so he goes out, he's talking, and he says, but I want to call out one person.
Right.
And the fans all of a sudden start booing because they know who it is.
Montreal knows all and sees all. That was in Montreal, remember?
Yeah, Montreal still remembers the fact Brett was screwed here by Shawn Michaels.
It was Shawn Michaels in character, but it was not Shawn Michaels.
It was not Shawn Michaels, the person. So Shawn comes out. He gets in the ring. They talk. And he says, it's been 20 years. I just want this feud to end.
And they
because
offer the handshake.
I just want to know one thing. I just want to know one thing. Did you know about the Screwjob? Because Shawn had said he didn't know.
And I believe Shawn.
What does Shawn say? What does Shawn say? He skip up. He's like, oh, and by the way, yes, I knew about the Screwjob. A part of me does not regret it.
That had to be the character talking. The person probably didn't actually know about it.
No, Shawn
knew.
Did know.
He knew. He lied for 20 years about not knowing. But what he did say, but yes, I knew about it, and a part of me does not regret it. However, that part of me is long since dead.
Does not exist anymore.
Yeah, it does not exist anymore.
I don't know
The
about
person
that.
now deeply regrets doing it.
Should have outright
And-
said I never wanted to be involved with it. I mean, at the time, Shawn Michaels was a face, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he never wanted to be involved. And so they both hug it out, thus closing the 20-year feud of the Montreal Screwjob. And finally answering the
Right.
biggest question that hung over it. Did Shawn Michaels lie about knowing about the screw job?
I think the biggest question is it a work or a shoot?
Yeah, was it a work or a shoot? And
It's a shoot.
It was definitely a shoot.
I feel like it was 50-50. It was storyline and shoot.
It's a shoot, period.
No, it's a shoot. Legitimately, those two did not like each other. But then again,
also
nobody liked
have
Shawn
to-
Michaels back then.
That 20-year feud also gave us one of the most.
have to add
Let me just
one thing too.
What?
Previously, you guys asked if Owen Hart had watched the match.
I don't think he did, but I think he might.
The answer is yes.
Even
because
though he had a match that night.
Owen and the British Bulldog were standing in the gorilla position because Brett said
Oh yeah, there was supposed to be
might
interference.
go down.
There was supposed to be interference
Something
with
might
Bulldog and
go down.
Owen and Bulldog were
And
supposed
if
to interfere and never did.
anything, and if anything happens, come out.
Oh yeah, that
So
goes back
they
to
were standing there.
It goes back to that original ending of it being it was supposed to be a schmoz where Owen and Bulldog would come out and cause a disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
If only that had happened instead.
Yep.
Oh, however, Brett still told them to stay there just in case they did something. Because Brett himself had a thought that something could happen.
Like, you remember in the match, though, China does come out and tries to help Shawn. Hunter, I think, came out and tried to help Shawn. So, and yet, this would be the perfect position in the match to have Bulldog and Owen come out to even things up. Because you know Hunter and China were going to get involved anyway.
Yep, they were.
Because they were Shawn Michaels butt buddies. That Triple H still is.
And then
Sorry. I'm not wrong.
After the match, they were going crazy, wondering what the puck happened. Because nobody told them anything. They had no clue what happened. The only people in the entire arena who knew
anything
were Vince McMahon, Shawn
Michaels, Triple
H, and
Earl
Hebner.
And by the way, we forgot to mention what historic building in Montreal this was taking place at. And this is at the, rest in peace, Montreal Forum.
Yep.
Nobody cares about Montreal.
Hey!
I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn might have heard that. Yeah, it happened at the legendary Montreal Forum, home of 22 or 23 Stanley Cups.
Yep, because it was home to Les Habitants.
I may have that number wrong.
Montreal.
I'm pretty sure a lot of those cups were probably won in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Les Habitants de Montréal.
Which, here's the question though.
Oh
If the screw
God,
job
are they
does,
starting already?
if the screw job doesn't happen, does Brett stay? That's the question that we have to think about here.
No.
Maybe I get a feeling that if it doesn't happen, they work out a new contract that Vince can actually run with, and Brett stays.
Yeah, and Brett stays. But
And we don't lose Owen Hart. Because remember, all this, I hate to blame
yeah,
Owen Hart's death on the screw job, but it kind of has to be blamed partially on
We
that.
we still would have lost Owen though.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Brett said in Wrestling with Shadows, if I'm there,
it would.
if
Owen
his
would
death was
never
partially
have
my fault. If I'm there, I could have stopped the
used
stunt.
in theory.
That's just survivor's guilt. It still would have
I
happened.
don't think it would have happened. Brett
Yeah.
would have punched Russo in the face probably for even suggesting that.
And then Brett would have been fired anyway. It still would have happened.
True, it
You
would have
think that
happened. But
if the screw job happens, we don't lose Owen. Does he go to WCW with Brett if Vince allows it? Yeah, I think so. I mean, WCW may have
Owen would have just got out.
I think if he had gone to WCW, they'd have given him the world title run that he deserved.
No, they
would
wouldn't
not have. Oh God.
Or maybe if
WC,
he'd gone to
if your
They
name was
maybe
not
they
Hogan,
had Hogan, they had Goldberg, they had Flair. Not a chance.
Hogan, I thought, was on his way out by the time all this happened. Wait, no, I'm thinking way ahead.
Nope.
I'm thinking 1999, 2000. Oh, God, there's something else we need to cover on this podcast. The booking of WCW in 2000 and 2001. That'll be fun. I think I had to cover that on my own podcast, too.
please do, because this one is a yeah, we don't
Let's just say
particularly
WCW in 2000, somebody needed to be super kicked for all those stupid gimmick matches, and we all know who I'm talking about. Bro.
Does anybody remember the finger poke of doom?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I think that's a dumb video in itself.
The finger poke of
Poke. And he flops over like a fish.
Does anybody remember how they ended Goldberg's streak?
No, I will not talk about that.
yes,
A taser.
That was the dumbest way to have it end. Way to kill your top face, everybody. If you want to kill a streak, not like that. And speaking of killing streaks in stupid ways, Charlotte ending Asuka's streak. Another stupid way to end a streak.
Streak should have ended long before that, though.
524 days as the NXT champion and undefeated at that. And then you have Charlotte, who wasn't even on the roster at the time. She wasn't in NXT anymore. Ended at WrestleMania. That's freaking stupid.
That streak should have ended long before that, though.
Problem, though, there was nobody on the NXT roster that was ready or capable at that point.
Ember Moon begs to differ.
She had already beaten her. Remember the whole Ember Moon she worked here.
And
the whole Ember Moon she worked. No, let me do it. The whole Ember Moon she worked here thing.
And there's this thing called rematches that, if done well, could work.
She'd already had 2 of them and lost them both, and had gotten hurt by that point.
Exactly. She should have won the rematch.
She was injured though when the streak was killed. So Ember Moon she was supposed to be in the Takeover San Antonio match, but she had injured her arm prior to it. No, wait, it wasn't Takeover San Antonio. It was Takeover Orlando, where they were having a 3 or 4-way match. Ember was supposed to be in it, but they pulled her due to injury at the last minute.
She-Wolf. Yeah.
Asuka with the troll voice, and then Shinsuke does something similar years later with the whole Renee Young thing where he says he doesn't speak English.
Yeah, he legitimately does not speak very good English. So.
And then Renee looks at him like, and what was that?
No. That's the only
this-
words he knows is no speak English.
And then the infamous Shinsuke Nakamura ball shotting everybody angle. Oh, wait,
That started with AJ Styles.
Are we actually done talking about the Screwjob now? Have we moved on, or have we gotten?
Yeah,
are we
we're
off
done
track
talking about the
again?
Screwjob. We're done with the Screwjob because there's not much more to say.
We are now, folks, reliving really, really stupid to funny moments in WWE history at this point.
Yes.
I got a
Well, I am
funny
playing
moment.
Hogwarts Legacy.
I have another moment from the OC's history, actually, the original one without Nietzsche. When they were doing the whole Dr. Gallows and Dr. Anderson thing, and they actually invent ring postitis.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
having her being drugged by the legs right into the ring post.
Ring post-itis.
The only thing missing is the classic No Mercy low blow noise. Which I'm pretty sure that was in the SmackDown games too early on, wasn't it?
Oh yes, it was. It was hilarity.
It was on the WWE games for the N64 and for the PlayStation. I think the first two SmackDown games had it, and they got rid of it in the third one. 2K needs to bring those back as a comedic sound effect.
It does.
You do realize, Steffi, there's something cool in 23, though. When you hit certain moves, like, say, the Code Red or the Pop Rocks, there's a reference to the old SmackDown Here Comes the Pain cameras, because if you rotate the D-pad, if you rotate the thumbstick a certain way, the cameras will rotate. I do that all the time when I'm about to hit somebody with Pop Rocks.
And the Pop Rocks. Oh, yeah.
Which is Roxanne Perez's Code Red.
Yeah.
It's only called the Code Red when Zelina Vega does it. Which I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that the same Code Red that Amazing Red used to use?
I have no idea.
I think Justin would know that more than anyone else.
Justin.
Was Amazing Red's Code Red the same thing as the Zelina Vega Sunset Flip Powerbomb Code Red?
I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure.
If I'm remembering this correctly, Zelina was actually trained by Amazing Red. I think I saw that somewhere in her bio, but I'm not entirely sure I had that right. So don't quote me.
Yeah, we got another embarrassing moment. Justin, no jokes.
I've got a funny moment.
Let me know when you want to stop recording. So, yeah.
And Mankini dance.
Wait, what? I barely heard it.
The Mankini dance.
And this was a Santino thing, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't even remember it, so.
Yeah, we don't remember a lot of Santino stuff.
The whole Glamazon thing was pretty funny, though. In fact, there's a certain gal in NXT now that I actually like to lovingly call Baby Glamazon, Ivy Nile.
What? When Santino tried to do a certain woman wrestler's entrance.
Oh, yeah, he pulled his groin trying to do Melina splits.
Best one.
Which, by the way, the funny thing is, hang on, the Melina splits
really
thing is
embarrassing moment in ECW history.
Oh,
it's a ring breaking.
Hey, Steffi, you realize the the Molina splits thing? That's how I exit a swimming pool if it's below ground. I've actually done it a few times, and believe it or not, I've never pulled a groin doing it.
Yeah, well,
I don't get to swim that often, though, so I'm not doing it that often. I don't even like swimming that much anyway, but anyway, enough about me, you know.
swimming. It is one way that I get to make fart noises in the water, and
Yeah.
nobody knows.
Kind of like this fart
Pretty
noise.
sure people know because
No.
you see the bubble.
Not if you're swimming in a very busy swimming pool.
Yeah. See the bubble.
You do not see the bubble if you're swimming in a very busy swimming pool.
Oh, yes, you do. I'm not going to elaborate any further.
Methinks
Oh.
Rich has farted in a swimming
Haven't we
pool.
all?
Oh.
Why?
About
no.
those playoffs, eh?
Don't remind me.
Playoffs.
Don't remind me.
Playoffs are awesome so far.
Except for Carolina and Dallas being curb stomped.
They're awesome so far.
Yep. Also,
aside from
Justin,
the loss to Miro,
hashtag,
aside from
hashtag,
Miro, I have to ask.
hashtag,
Aside from Miro Heiston being injured,
go Vegas, go!
No. Take warning, people. Carolina's, and speaking of taking warning to their opponents, take warning. Carolina's coming for your asses after what you did to us yesterday, New Jersey.
Oh.
We're not going to let an 8-4 loss set us back. Same thing with the Stars. Kraken, we're coming for your butt cracking.
Oh, yeah, butt cracking joke.
I was being serious when I said that, but okay. We're coming for you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to use the Booker T joke here because it'd get somebody in trouble. So.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we're not going to use that one.
I will put it to you this way, Kraken. We're coming for you in just 1 or 2 nights' time after what you did to us, and you better hope we don't have Miro Heiskin back.
Yeah, they better hope that, because if you guys don't, well,
we're screwed.
Advantage them then.
Yep, and next game, a little advice for our coach: don't start Ottinger. Ottinger's half the reason we lost. The guy had a terrible game. And let's face it, though, Freddie Anderson for Carolina wasn't much better. Should have pulled him ages before we did. Steffi, remind me, are the Knights even still in the playoffs?
Yeah, they are.
I'm going to say this. How about the Maple Leafs, though? Finally getting out of the first round for the first time in God knows how long.
I still say there's a...
I still say they're lucky.
Yeah, I still say that's luck. That's luck.
Luck because of who they eliminated. They knocked out, it was either Boston
2004.
or Tampa. They knocked out, was it Tampa or Boston they knocked out?
Tampa.
Still, though, that was luck. I did not expect them to get past Tampa. I was like, as soon as I saw Toronto, Tampa, I'm like, sorry, Leafs, your Cinderella season's over.
Tampa didn't play well, though, so...
They probably overlooked them. It's probably their main mistake, if I can guess. I mean, they probably saw, Toronto, easy 4-win series, and then they get their butt stomped.
Not... Tampa was also pretty injured, too, so...
See, I didn't realize this, so... How do you take the Florida-Boston series? Or Florida-Boston series.
Which Florida?
Panthers. How do you sum up the Panthers and Bruins series, Justin?
The upset of all upsets.
Would you necessarily call it a fluke? I think our buddy Mike Sanzo
Florida
will hate it.
was the better team. That's series.
So no? I was about to... Okay, do you see... Here's something I heard on another YouTube video. Somebody actually brought up the possibility of a Toronto-Seattle final. I'm like, you see that happening? No, I don't.
No, because Toronto's going to get
They're notorious
swept.
chokers. Toronto are notorious second-round chokers when they do make the second round.
Toronto's going to get swept.
I'm trying to remember who swept him back in 2004. That was... Help me out here. Boston?
I think it was
Ottawa.
Boston.
Ottawa?
Oh, no, Ottawa.
Must have been when Ottawa was still somewhat of a crap.
It
was back when Ottawa had
Alexa Yoshi.
Betsa and Alfredson and Danny Heatley.
And I don't think Yashin was gone yet.
2004 was the last time they won a round until now.
I actually, in that same video, it was being hosted by a Leafs fan. He was seriously singing "The Curse is Over," and I'm like, "Come back to me when you win the Stanley Cup. Then we'll say the curse is over."
And whoop-de-doo, you won a round. You're going to get swept
If this were
in the second round.
If I were him,
because you're notorious second round chokers if you make it.
I haven't had a cup win since a certain year, and I'm only bringing this up because I don't gloat about it. I've moved on and only bring it up when it's relevant. But that was in 1999 or in 2023. After we've been butt stomped out of the playoffs twice during the COVID era, back to back by the same team, actually. Thank you, Lightning. Now go for yourselves. Dallas got butt stomped out first in the finals. They were swept. And then Carolina the next year in the semis. Or the conference finals, actually. Thank you, Tampa. Now go screw yourselves. Now, I have to point out for the people listening that may not know, I hate Tampa, I hate the Lightning, and I hate the Bruins even more. So...
well, I don't like the Bruins. I don't like the Lightning.
Of course you don't like Boston. You don't like them because they play your style better.
Excuse me, Dallas and Carolina are not dirty.
No, he means me.
I wasn't talking to you.
He means me.
Oh, and by the way,
hashtag grab the rat.
I no longer hate the New Jersey Devils as a team. I haven't since 2002. Their fans are who I hate.
Yeah, thank you. Like, the fans are quite annoying.
Anytime they're playing Carolina as a taunt, they steal our woo. That seriously annoys me.
Yeah. Yep.
And then when they're up enough, they start that awful "you suck" chant during their scoring song. I'm like, last time I checked, your team hasn't made the playoffs since like the mid-2010s. Where we had made the playoffs almost every year during that decade.
Yep.
I said almost every year. We missed one, and I can't remember when it was. I want to say 2010. Point is, we've made the playoffs more times than the Devils have. Yet their fans are obnoxious about it. If I didn't know better, I would say they were jealous of us. As if I didn't know
It
any better.
is. It is
And as for
problem.
Boston, Justin, it goes way further back than the Carolina Hurricanes. Mind you, I'm an ex-Whalers fan. We hated Boston back then.
And the reason that I do not like Boston is, well,
Guys, let's put a wrap on this because my lunch is here. And I'm not recording this, so
Yummy
Okay.
lunchtime.
all right.
And I will mute.
Folks, that's it for this discussion. We will be back at a later point in time. We don't know when yet because
We'll work on
whenever
that.
we can actually get a schedule together.
We'll work on that. And these will be hosted
Yeah,
on the
we'll work
Wolfpack
on
Productions channel as well. So go check that out.
Wait.
Wait.
Just before we go, I want your predictions.
Oh,
What will the Stanley Cup look like? Who will
Finals?
play?
I'm gonna say it one way.
Yes.
If it's not Dallas and as long as it's not Dallas versus Carolina, I don't care.
Yep.
Dallas versus Carolina, I don't need a heart attack.
Let's
I
see.
don't
I'm
believe-
going Florida.
Prediction wise, let's see. Florida. Wow, that's a surprise.
Yeah, well, the Panthers are playing really good.
I would say Florida's out in the second round alongside New Jersey. And it's Carolina and Toronto in the final.
Florida's going to
Oh.
sweep Toronto.
Yeah, so far, because
Although-
Toronto absolutely, you know what?
I wouldn't count
At
him
this
out because
point.
we've seen comebacks from way worse before. So
Toronto has yet to win a game in the second round. They're not coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
They're done.
They did.
so let's see.
Sorry,
West
Toronto Maple
Side.
Leafs fans.
Before I say my West Side, who is Vegas dealing with right now?
That would be
Oilers.
Oilers.
Vegas wins that. The Oilers are the Western version of Toronto. You get them in the second round, they choke every time.
Yep.
So I'll go.
Well, let's put it this
does
way.
that mean Vegas? Yeah, Vegas
We
and
all,
Dallas
everybody
in the
knows
final.
my pick for the West. Everyone knows
Either-
my picks.
I'm unsure on the West. I'm going to go Vegas for sure, and then I'm not sure if it'll be Vegas Seattle or Vegas Dallas. I can't see Seattle winning.
What?
After
Florida
last night, I'm skeptical.
Oilers.
Whoa. Justin's going to go against the Oilers choking narrative.
They
Go look at
haven't choked once.
I swore last time they were in the playoffs, second round, they choked their way right out of it. Against,
Yeah, well-
I want to say San Jose.
The last time they made it to the Western Conference Finals, and
Choked.
they played Colorado,
Yeah,
who
choked.
then went on to win the cup. So no.
Let's see. Western, like I said, Vegas, Dallas, or Vegas, Seattle. I'm not sure who to. I'm skeptical on the Stars not being curb stomped again. All depends, like I said, on if we have Miro or not. As for the East, oh Lord, Florida, Carolina in the East final. Carolina beats Florida in 7 and heads back to the cup.
Oh,
We shall see.
okay.
Though. We shall see.
Like I said, the
Can
West,
I do my picks now?
If I have to pick somebody from the West, I'm sorry, Dallas. I got to go with Seattle.
Ooh.
I don't trust our ability to win without Miro in the lineup. Go ahead, Steph. And no, you can't pick the Flyers. I'm kidding.
Ha ha. The Flyers
That's
aren't
nice
even in
talk.
it.
That's why I said
The
that.
Flyers aren't even in it.
If I could, I'd throw a shoe at you right now.
The Flyers aren't even in it. So yeah.
All right, let's see it. I'd be shocked if anybody in this group picks Dallas, considering one of our best players is out, but still.
Let's see. Western going with Vegas. As far as Carolina and
What about the Dallas-Seattle
otherwise,
series? Who do you have the Dallas-Seattle series as the winner there? Or
hate to
you
say
agree
it,
with
but
me? Without Miro, it's going to be Seattle. You basically agree with me.
yeah, Heiskanen is a big
That's
deal.
the be-all.
This,
And another thing is, Odysee needs to wake up.
yeah, Odysee needs to get
His head out of it.
I'm not gonna say the
It
word.
was one game. You're
How do we
overreacting a
know it
little
won't
bit,
happen
dude.
again? If it happens again, we're done. But anyway, Steph, go ahead.
Jeez. So, yeah, Seattle or Dallas, Seattle, Vegas, and I'm going. Sorry, Carolina, but Panthers.
Vegas and Florida, that's an interesting final. Justin, who was your West
Yeah.
End?
You're just taking Panthers because Matt Kachuk's there.
Justin, who was your
Yes,
West
and I
again?
get to stare at that fabulous booty every time they play.
So, Justin, you had Edmonton and Florida. That's an interesting final. And you have a certain buddy that loves the Oilers that would love to hear you say that.
I hate that I even said that because I despise the Oilers, but they're playing very well.
I mean, I've got to even give it to Seattle. We had a bad game yesterday, but they played great. I have to give it to them. Same thing with New Jersey. They played like champs yesterday. I may dislike the Devils fans, but I'm going to put the team over. They played like champs yesterday. They played like the 2001 Stanley Cup champion Devils. Or was it 2000? I forget which one. I try to forget which one it was where they knocked us out to win.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Anyway, let's put a wrap on this one, everybody.
For Justin and Steffi discussed,
Florida
I am Steffi.
Steffi, nice.
Yep.
And I'm Justin.
Steffi. That's Justin.
And I'm Rich, and I'm also out of here.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Shut up. I'm the one recording this, Justin. Anyway. And we're out of here.
Later, skaters.
Smell you later.